In an instant, a huge golden cross appeared in front of everyone, firmly blocking the flames. Then another golden cross appeared behind the demon. It began spinning around them at a very high speed. And the demon was ultimately trapped in its own flames. Immediately, the power of Holy condensed abruptly in Kelvin's brow. A golden giant sword formed by the power of Holy. It instantly killed all the demons present with its power to destroy everything. He then lightly patted the demonic wolf beneath him. The next moment, a chilling frost power surged out. It instantly extinguished the flames raging in the forest. Then Kelvin took a step forward towards the crowd. He slowly reached out his right hand, activating skill slow regeneration. The injuries of everyone recovered quickly in an instant. Everyone in the Azure Phoenix squad should be fine. Natalia expressed her thanks upon hearing this. However, the younger students did not expect you to know us, Kelvin said. Azure Phoenix squad is among the top 3 squads in the school, so I naturally know about it. Upon hearing this, Natalia felt a bit embarrassed. After all, she was embarrassed to have the younger students witness such an awkward scene. Later, Natalia said solemnly, Younger student, although your light attribute skill has a restraining effect on demons, demons are still too dangerous. How about you come back to the supply base with us? After some thought, Kelvin decided to go to the base with them. After all, he had explored all the peripheral areas in the past month. However, he still had no news of the frozen ICE LOTUS. Also, the freshman tournament was in 3 days, so he could only wait for the tournament to finish before returning to continue searching for the frozen ICE LOTUS. Shortly after, the mechanic gathered both hands in front of his chest. In an instant, a dazzling magic circle appeared beneath her feet. Immediately after, an octopod biomimetic spider appeared before everyone. On the way back, Kelvin learned that there should not have been any demons on the periphery of the Stormwind Mountains. This was the first time their squad had encountered swarms of demons. These demons were either from the depths of the Stormwind Mountains or from a nearby dimensional rift. But no matter which one, it meant that uncontrollable factors had appeared in the Stormwind Mountains. So they needed to return to base quickly to inform the military district. Upon hearing this, Kelvin voiced his doubts. Isn't the military district supposed to have a mage tower monitoring the entire area? Why would a situation like this still occur? I see. There are many monsters in the Stormwind Mountains. In order to prevent the monsters from rushing out of the mountains to attack the city, at the entrance of the Stormwind Mountains, the military has built a supply and trade base, with troops guarding it and a mage tower constantly monitoring the movements of the monsters in the mountains. But the mage tower has a fatal flaw. It cannot detect low-level creatures like demons. Upon hearing this, Kelvin felt surprised. From the combat just now, every demon at least had a silver tier ranking and should not be classified as an inferior monster. It seemed like he saw the doubt in Kelvin's heart. Natalia explained that the mage tower is mainly used to monitor the movements of high-level monsters of epic rank and above in the depths of the Stormwind Mountains. Demons, for example, carry an otherworldly aura that is below the concentration threshold set by the mage tower, which is why the mage tower cannot detect them. But one thing that Natalia is particularly concerned about is why it is specifically sending inferior demons over if a dimensional rift has indeed appeared deep in the Stormwind Mountains. According to common sense, demons that are discovered by the base garrison will be immediately eliminated. A dimensional rift that can accommodate level 30 demons passing through can also allow demons over level 50 to pass through. And this move by Otherworld not only gives away free kills, but also prematurely exposes the location of the rift. After thinking about it for a long time, Natalia still couldn't figure it out. These issues should be left for the military to think about. Little did they know, deep in the Stormwind Mountains, countless hungry inferior demons are pouring out from the rift. And just at this moment, a beam of darkness-filled light soared into the sky. Its momentum was magnificent. Even Kelvin and his companions, who were far away at the edge of the sky, could see clearly. It even made him feel a hint of familiarity. At this moment, Natalia's voice sounded in his ear. "Go over there. Someone is being besieged by demons over there." But Kelvin told Natalia to quickly return to the base to report. He would be back soon. Before Natalia could refuse, Kelvin rode his white wolf towards the pillar of light. At this moment, although Kelvin's face was calm, his heart was already extremely anxious. Because of this breath, he will never forget it. But why did she appear here? The scene shifted. Right now, Elena is deeply trapped in the circle of demons. And Demon deserves to be called the smartest demon. They first used their comrades' lives to discover that Elena couldn't maintain her state for a long time. So they started to besiege without attacking, wanting to slowly wear her down. And at this moment, a touch of seriousness appeared on Elena's face. The demons in front of her were just too cunning. They were scattered in groups of 10 in the plains. Even if she killed the 8 demons in front of her, the surrounding demons would immediately come to reinforce. She simply didn't have a chance to retreat towards the supply base. If she couldn't break out of the encirclement herself as soon as possible, at the moment when the succubus power disappeared, all that awaited her was certain death. But just then, a voice echoed in the jungle. Thunder. In an instant, countless lightning bolts formed from the power of the holy light came crashing down. It slaughtered all the demons present with an unstoppable force. Elena's eyes were full of surprise at the scene. Has Kelvin's strength really improved to such a terrifying level? But when she turned back to look, she found that he was channeling the power of holy in his palm as he rushed towards her. At the same time he shouted, "Elena, quick, get out of the way!" And behind him, an unusually different demon suddenly appeared. Only the sound waves produced by its roar can press Elena, who is in a state of succubus, to retreat repeatedly. And this demon is the demon that is already frenzied. The next moment, the frenzied demon rushed towards the two of them fiercely. Seeing this, Elena quickly moved to shield Kelvin in front of her. The demon's power will multiply several times in frenzy mode. Kelvin is absolutely no match for it. If I self-destruct, there's a 90% chance I can kill it. I can protect Kelvin just as Elena is about to sacrifice herself. Kelvin Princess carried her into his arms. Unexpectedly, Kelvin's mount, White Wolf, moved at such a fast speed. Even the demon in frenzy couldn't catch up with it. Immediately, Kelvin reached back and lightly shouted, activating skill Judgment of Light. The lightning, transformed by the power of Holy, roared down once again. At this moment, plains had completely transformed into a demon's lair. And a smile appeared on Kelvin's face. No wonder everyone wants to class change into a mage for the satisfying feeling of killing monsters from a distance. But the next moment, the frenzied demon broke through and swiftly attacked with lightning speed. In no time, hundreds of demons surrounded them in circles. Seeing this, Kelvin began to calculate in his mind. Dealing with a total of 180 demons using an area of effect skill could solve the problem. The issue was that they were currently too scattered. So he lightly tapped Elena's forehead. "Elena, go attract the demons on the left side over here. Remember, do not engage them in combat." The next moment, a mighty surge of holy power flowed into her body. And when she saw the amplification attribute on the system panel, she was even more surprised. There are so many amplifications. Next, Kelvin picked up the great hammer and charged towards the group of demons. Upon seeing this, the demons began gathering their demonic power in their mouths. But before they could finish charging up fully, Kelvin had already split them in two with a great hammer. Overwhelming combat ahead. This leaves Elena stunned in place. All attributes increased by 25%. As far as she knows, not even a level 25 paladin could achieve this. But she doesn't have time to think further. A demon flies in front of her. Seeing this, the white wolf opens its large bloody mouth and bites fiercely at it. And Elena finally returned to her senses. She quickly followed Kelvin's instructions to gather all the demons from the east here. At the same time, on the other side, Kelvin appeared as if the god of death had descended to earth. He swiftly killed wave after wave of demons. Just as Kelvin had just killed a demon in a split second, a demon suddenly attacked from behind him. Just as the blade was about to slash across his head, a strange dark force sent the long sword flying. Kelvin, on the other hand, looked back indifferently. And this is one of Elena's bloodline skill, Shadow Whip. It can gather demonic chi in the hands to form a whip shape. When striking the enemy, it inflicts serious damage and adds a shadow damage effect. And at this moment, with the two of them working together seamlessly, most of the demons in the plains have already gathered. Now is the perfect time to use this move. Just then, Kelvin threw a holy ball, and the next moment, an indestructible holy light shield formed above Elena. It can protect teammates within a certain range, immersing them in the halo of holy and rendering them immune to all physical damage. The dazzling cross then condensed in his hand, accompanied by the golden cross continuously expanding. A majestic power of holy radiated outwards in all directions from its center. Wherever the power of holy passed, demons were turned into ashes. At this moment, in Elena's eyes, it appeared as a magnificent fireworks display. Immediately, a cold light flashed in Kelvin's eyes. The ancient and deep divine language echoed in the plains. Under the shining holy light, all darkness will be extinguished. The light gathers as the storm approaches. The next moment, two huge golden crosses condensed in midair. They thundered down into the ground in a fierce manner. Immediately after, 100-meter-tall golden hurricane formed on the spot. It was as if a golden dragon swallowed up all the demons in the plains. And when everything returned to calm, Natalia also arrived with a large army to help. But when they got off the car and took a look, they were suddenly dumbfounded. The ground was full of shattered remains of the demons, and Kelvin and Elena were standing intact and unharmed in front of them. This overturned their perception entirely. Even in the military district, there was no one who could single-handedly deal with hundreds of ruthless demons. At the same time, the system prompt sounded. Congratulations, your level has increased to level 18, gaining 15 free attribute points and 15 skill points. Upon hearing this, Kelvin took out a bottle of restorative potion and gulped it down. Before long, his injuries and magic power were fully restored. Immediately after, he opened the system panel. In this battle, he hunted a total of 180 demons, gaining 60,000 experience points. The harvest exceeded expectations. The only regret was that class characters have an experience level cap. Otherwise, he could have leveled up even more after this battle. Through the recent combat, Kelvin discovered a deficiency in himself. Although his magic power is growing rapidly, due to having too many high-level skills, he hasn't come up with a good solution yet. Therefore, he will wait to ask the teachers at school. They should have a solution. At this moment, Elena plopped down on the ground with a thud. Seeing this, Natalia asked with concern, "Are you okay?" Upon hearing this, Kelvin explained that it was because she had overextended herself, depleting too much strength and entering a state of weakness. Just take a short rest, and you'll be fine. Shortly after, Natalia asked Kelvin if he had encountered any particularly challenging demons in the recent battle. After recalling for a moment, Kelvin said, "The highest level demon that died at my hands was a gold level 23. There weren't any particularly difficult ones to deal with." Upon hearing this, a hint of unease surged in Natalia's heart. Because the Demon Legion, much like the human army, has commanders. If there is no commander here, it means that the main force of the Demon Legion is not here. In other words, the base may be in danger. They should return to the supply base as soon as possible. Just as everyone was preparing to go back, a surge of terrifying pressure suddenly descended from midair. The whole sky was dyed with a bloody red hue. Immediately, a completely white dragon appeared in front of everyone. And on the back of the dragon stood a demon shrouded in black aura. Upon inspection through identification, it was discovered to be a legendary demon with a level of 30. At the same time, inside the supply base, everyone received an urgent situation issued by the Mage Tower. A level 4 otherworld invasion has occurred in reality. It instantly locked its location in the northeast of Stormwind Mountains. Upon seeing the situation, the command center immediately issued orders to everyone. All members gathered and entered a state of readiness. The Snow Dragon Legion's warrior department immediately halted training. Gather at the teleportation square immediately. The Snow Dragon Legion's priest department is prepared for rescue operations. Ensure that magic power within the body is plentiful. The logistics department of the Snow Dragon Legion is conducting resource allocation for demonic core and demonic crystal dispatch. In just a moment, the mage department has constructed a large teleportation magic array based on the coordinates provided by the command center. Report. Legion Commander, all personnel have assembled. Waiting for your instructions. At Legion Commander Watson's command. The crowd disappeared in a roar at the magic circle. Meanwhile, in the other world, a disturbance broke out among the demons because Kelvin had just slaughtered hundreds of demons. It turns out that each demon that came to the Blue Star was personally selected by the Demon King. Even after half a year in this place, they had only lost about a dozen demons. However, during the final celebration before returning to the Sacred Realm, hundreds of tribe members were unexpectedly killed. So, the Demon King immediately issued an order. We will return to the Sacred Realm in half a day. Before we leave, I permit you to have a bit of a rampage. With these words spoken, the demons immediately became excited. They had been waiting for this day for a long time. At the same time, in the Stormwind Mountains, Demon Son Alamas used summoning skills in just a few seconds. He summoned countless legions of demons. Among them are even powerful beings of gold level. At the sight, Natalia's heart trembled suddenly. A drop of cold sweat ran down her forehead. But soon Natalia and her group made a decision. Their gaze was filled with a heroic courage belonging to a warrior. Kelvin, wait for the Azure Phoenix squad to find an opportunity for you. Once there is a chance, you will immediately break through and return to the supply base. Because they deeply understand that Kelvin is the only future genius who can defeat the exotic race. Only he is worthy of letting the Azure Phoenix squad protect this flame with their lives. However, just at this moment, a golden magic circle suddenly appeared in the sky. The members of the Azure Phoenix squad were delighted to see this, because it was the exclusive teleportation symbol of the Snow Dragon Legion. The Snow Dragon Legion is led by a Legion commander of at least level 30, who has undergone the second advancement class, and even more so by a level 51 third advancement warrior. Kelvin, however, felt a hint of doubt in his heart. Since they were teleported here, why didn't they just teleport directly to this location? Only saw the demon sneer and speak out. Under the cover of my magic array, no one can enter. Let them see how you all die miserably at our hands. At the same time, the Snow Dragon Legion outside the barrier also sensed that something was wrong. Why did the teleportation destination deviate so much? After conducting a basic inspection, the mage provided an explanation. This is a large-scale forbidden magic array, the dark flame wall of the demon race. Once it is deployed, the internal spatial area cannot be teleported. External attacks will also be blocked. It would require the combined strength of at least 2 legions to have a chance at destroying it. Otherwise, one can only wait for it to dissipate on its own after a certain period of time. Upon hearing this, the Legion commander calmly asked how long the magic circle would last. However, the answer he received weighed heavily on his heart. 5 minutes. Seemingly a short period of time. Enough for these demons to tear the Azure Phoenix squad into pieces 100 times. In the end, the Legion commander gave a solemn order. You shall gather all the information of those people, make a record, and notify their families to come and claim them after the combat is over. At the same time, inside the magic circle, Kelvin, who had been away for a long time, received the legendary task issued by the system. The host is required to kill the demon son to receive the S+ talent and fortune elixir as rewards. Upon hearing this, a faint smile appeared at the corner of Kelvin's mouth. Finally, there is a new achievement task. Then he stood in front of everyone to protect them. The majestic power of Holy was swirling around his body. Demon Sun raised his long sword, pointing it at Kelvin surrounded by such a strong holy aura. It seems that you killed my tribesmen. To show my respect for you, I will personally smash your bones. Combat is about to break out. The dragon flapped its wings and leaped into the air. Immediately, the surging power of thunder condensed in its mouth. The next moment, a massive energy beam shot out like a skyscraper. Kelvin's eyes narrowed as he saw the situation. He wielded the great hammer with accumulated strength. The next moment, the half-moon slash filled with surging holy power attacked fiercely. There was only a loud bang. Two completely different strengths collided. But obviously, Kelvin had the upper hand. He turned the dragon into a flightless lizard with the power of thunder. The wingless dragon plummeted instantly from 100 meters high. It created a crater tens of thousands of meters deep when it crashed into the ground with a loud bang. And at the moment Demon Sun hit the ground, Kelvin had long been waiting here with the great hammer in hand. But Demon Sun, living up to its reputation as a level 30 legendary demon, immediately turned around and swung a blade. Its power was so great that it even carved a 10-meter deep trench in the plains. But when the smoke cleared, Kelvin's figure was nowhere to be found, waiting for him to appear here. It found that the great hammer had already attacked in front of the Demon Sun's head. Fortunately, Demon Sun's reaction was exceptional. It dodged the attack by moving its body to the side. At this moment, Demon Sun no longer possesses its previous nonchalance. Its face is full of incredulity. A human who is less than level 18. How could they have strength equivalent to mine? Kelvin, on the other hand, rubbed his sore wrist. There was a lot of banter in his words. You're quite resistant to being beaten up. You are the first legendary monster I've encountered. However, the disdainful words completely angered Demon Sun. The next moment, it brandished its long sword and charged forward swiftly. But anger alone cannot guarantee its hit on the opponent. Just then, Kelvin's figure flashed and leaped into the air. Immediately, he wielded a cross-shaped light blade at Demon Sun. Just hearing a buzzing sound, the golden magic power instantly suppressed Demon Sun, rendering him unable to move. Seeing this, Kelvin raised his right hand, condensing the power of Holy. He activated the skill, Judgment of Light. The next moment, the thunderous power formed by golden magic power came crashing down. At the critical moment, Demon Sun summoned the Flame Demon Shield to block the attack. Seeing this scene, Kelvin was suddenly shocked. Not even the Judgment of Light can deal with it. It seems that conventional methods simply cannot kill this thick-skinned and tough legendary demon. He has no choice but to activate the reward skill given after the final exam. And at this moment, the Demon Sun has already broken free from the restraints. It shouted loudly towards the back. My beloved minions, crush them for me. The next moment, hundreds of demons swarmed in like locusts. Seeing this, Kelvin pointed his finger towards the sky. In an instant, the mighty power of Holy gathered here like a storm. The majestic momentum caught everyone's attention. Then a giant golden hand suddenly appeared in the sky. It used its unparalleled power that reaches the heavens to instantly kill all demons, including the Demon Sun. The immense strength even left them no chance to resist. And only the aftermath of the collision. This makes Elena's bloodline tremble slightly. She couldn't believe it. The succubus bloodline inside her body is actually afraid. The Legion commander outside of the magic circle was even more shocked, unable to close their mouth. Bluntly speaking, the power of this slap could rival that of a typical demonic crystal cannon. Then the Legion commander asked the adjutant who was inside. Inside are all students from Sioux University. And the one who just displayed the skill is this year's special admit first place, Paladin Kelvin. Upon hearing this, Legion commander sighed regretfully. Although he is the freshman first place, the level difference is still too large. If Kelvin is given some time to grow, just that one skill alone could annihilate Demon Sun. His words had just fallen when Demon Sun slowly stood up. At this moment, boundless demon power swirling around its body. Even a huge demon projection formed above it. The demon army that was just destroyed by Kelvin. They miraculously all revived and gained even more powerful strength. At the same time, even more terrifying sorcerers were summoned here, facing thousands of enemy troops advancing at the same time. Kelvin, however, stood calmly in place. In an instant, the power of darkness firmly locked his legs. Yet even so, the surrounding demons still dared not advance rashly. They kept launching probing attacks. Seeing this, the demon son snorted coldly, pretending to remain calm. He was just a level 18 paladin after all. His minions beside him also echoed in agreement. After the fierce battle just now, his magic power must have been depleted long ago. Without magic power, facing our army of 300 tribes, we can just overwhelm and crush him with numbers alone. At this moment, a hint of determination flashed in Kelvin's eyes. The divine hand has exhausted almost all of my magic power. The equipment's magic power recovery speed is too slow. Then, I can only bring out my final trump card. S-level skill Divine Summoning. After Kelvin uses this secret technique, he will temporarily gain +5 levels in all Pantheon Light attribute skills by borrowing some of the Light God's strength. The recovery speed of HP, stamina, and magic power increases by 20 times. A majestic golden pillar of light rose into the sky in an instant. Its power was immense. It even directly broke through the magic circle of the demon from the inside, and all demons near the gate were instantly turned to ashes. Even more remarkably, a magnificent figure with 6 wings appeared in the incredulous gazes of the demons. At this moment, the angel that appeared in the Talon Awakened ritual descended once again. She embraced Kelvin. Countless demons were mesmerized by the beauty of the angel before them, and the wings transformed by golden magic power. At the moment of contact, it will let them know. The flames of holy never go out until their souls dissipate. At this moment, Legion Commander's face was full of shock. He reached out to catch the falling golden feather. Unexpectedly, it was a divine summoning. Only the top skills mastered by Pantheon-class characters can harness the divine strength they believe in. 7 years ago, Legion Commander witnessed a level 58 priest casting divine summoning. With just one move, the entire Legion's condition was restored to its peak. It was precisely because of divine summoning that our army was able to withstand the siege by the 3 demon legions until reinforcements arrived. And at this moment, Demon Son completely couldn't accept the reality before his eyes. No human has ever been able to use divine summoning at level 18, and once divine summoning is cast, only demons with divine power can interrupt it. Upon hearing this, Demon Son eventually resigned himself to the inevitable death of the creatures when Kelvin completes the ritual. It inquired how long it would take to set up the magic array in the valley below. It will only take 1 more minute. Your Highness will be able to return successfully. I got it. Now is the time to show your loyalty, my faithful subjects. All flame demons, listen up. Immediately offer everything you have to the esteemed demon son Alamas. Before the words even faded away, a demon took their own life. In quick succession, countless demons took their own lives. The next moment, the boundless power of the demons all poured into the body of Demon Son. Wait until everything returns to calm. Even Demon Son has embarked on a whole new stage. Even if it means sacrificing the entire army. In the eyes of Angel, it is still so ugly and unbearable. She only saw her stretch her hand forward. The ethereal voice echoed in the ears of everyone. God said, "Let there be light." The next moment, a threatening force of holy power burst out from Kelvin's eyes. At this moment, his figure overlapped with that of an angel. Then, a majestic force of holy power carrying immense strength condensed at his fingertips. Only a loud bang was heard. The golden light extended towards the earth like a fierce thunderbolt. The surging strength instantly shattered the ground for miles around. I didn't expect Demon Son to withstand this blow with his physical body alone. After completely absorbing the demonic chi, It has already evolved into a level 43 flame demon sun. The next moment, a strange demonic chi condensed in its chest. The majestic energy was forcibly compressed by it into a small ball of less than 5 meters. And this is precisely the most powerful talent skill of the Flame Demon clan, compressing fire elements to the extreme. The surface temperature alone can reach 15 million degrees Celsius. The next second, the ball suddenly enlarged. The demon sun raised the ball and started to gather strength. The next moment, the ball turned into a fierce meteor and rushed forward. A deafening explosion suddenly resounded through the entire world. Members of the Azure Phoenix squad even broke out in a cold sweat for Kelvin. But when the smoke cleared, Kelvin unexpectedly caught the attack unscathed. At this moment, his figure was as awe-inspiring as a god on high, impossible to look directly at. Seeing this scene, the feeling of fear made Demon Sun start trembling constantly. The instinct for survival escalated to its peak at this moment. It desperately wanted to return to the magic array. However, before it could take a few steps out, an indifferent and ethereal voice sounded in its ears. "In the name of God, I pronounce judgment upon you. Death penalty." Then, he fiercely swung forward. The power of Holy tore the earth apart in an instant like lightning. Together with Demon Sun, whose body was filled with countless wicked demonic aura, was split into two. And at this moment, it is only a few steps away from returning to the magic array. And when he has completed all of this, Kelvin, whose body was almost depleted, finally couldn't hold on any longer. He turned into a golden meteor crashing towards the ground. But when his consciousness awakened, he suddenly found something pressing on his chest, making it hard for him to breathe. Is he going to heaven? And Kelvin woke up abruptly from the boundless fear. He was panting heavily, and at this moment, a sweet voice full of fatigue sounded in his ears. "Kelvin, you're awake. You've been unconscious for 2 days and nights. I'll go inform everyone now." Upon hearing this, Kelvin kept complaining in his heart. "If I don't wake up soon, I'll be crushed by you." But next, Elena made an unexpected move. She leaned in and lightly kissed Kelvin on the cheek. "Thank you for saving me," she said before Kelvin could even react. Elena blushed and ran out of the ward because of her bold actions just now. She left only Kelvin touching the warmth left on her cheeks, speaking with indulgence. She was actually so bold. Then the system prompt sounded. Completing the achievement mission of killing Demon Sun is now distributing the corresponding task rewards. The rewards obtained are S+ talent skill death resistance, which can prevent the body from approaching death and rapidly recover from all damage received. The second reward is S level elixir fortune elixir, which, when consumed, allows the user to gain extremely high luck values within 12 hours. Seeing the rewards given by system, Kelvin is very satisfied. Although many class characters have talents to recover from injuries, Kelvin has never seen such a miraculous effect before. Thus, an evil idea arises in his mind. Then he summoned a short blade. He stabbed himself without saying a word. And this death resistance is truly a skill of S+ level, with injuries fully healed in less than 2 seconds. In such a situation, even if he is affected by injuries that hinder his movements in combat, he can cause opponents to misjudge and deliver a fatal blow. At this moment, Kelvin had a sudden idea. He summoned the great hammer that can inflict damage on gold-level monsters. What would happen if there were severe limb injuries? But then Kelvin changed his mind. What if something went wrong? Elena might end up crying to death here. Then Kelvin turned his attention to the fortune elixir. The description given by the system was very vague. How lucky could it be to be extremely lucky? It was unclear whether one would encounter a legendary weapon as soon as they stepped out, or casually assist an elderly lady across the street who happened to be a third advancement class character. Nevertheless, for an elixir like this that could unlock infinite possibilities, he decided to wait until a critical moment to use it. But at that moment, Kelvin noticed in the system panel that a new level A skill had been added to his skills called Sacred Flame Wheel, which was a divine gift skill, meaning it could only be learned through divine bestowment. Kelvin remembered back to when he used divine summoning. The skill he used was Sacred Flame Wheel, and he vividly recalled that he had received more than one blessing at that time. There was another skill named Holy Angel's Guardian, which not only greatly improved his compatibility with the light attribute, but also doubled the effects of all light attribute pantheon skills. Though it seemed to be a normal S-level blessing, Sacred Flame Wheel was an extremely special dual attribute skill. This meant that after amplification, once he activated the blessing, Sacred Flame Wheel would increase light attribute and fire attribute skill damage by 40%. Wouldn't that turn him into a Thunderfire dual element mage? However, just as Kelvin was marveling, a knocking sound came from the door. It turned out to be Deputy Legion Commander Stefan from the Snow Dragon Legion, who came to offer condolences. Kelvin, classmate, thanks to you for killing Demon Sun in time and destroying the teleportation array. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to capture so many demon prisoners. The Legion Commander should have thanked you personally. However, he has an urgent matter to attend to, so I will convey the gratitude on his behalf. I hope you don't mind. Kelvin scratched his head and said, "You're too kind. Do you have something to discuss with me?" As soon as he finished speaking, a VR holographic device flew out of Stefan's hand. At the next moment, countless rare treasures appeared before Kelvin. And Stefan expressed even more generously. Accumulated here are the resources of the Snow Dragon Legion for hundreds of years. Don't be polite. Just let me know if you see anything you like. Upon hearing this, Kelvin's heart was immediately filled with joy. He quickly asked Stefan if he had the S-level celestial treasure Frozen Ice Lotus. Stefan said, "Please wait a moment while I check." After a moment, the Frozen Ice Lotus appeared before everyone. Seeing this, Kelvin was overjoyed. He quickly expressed that this was exactly what he was looking for. And when Stefan saw the contribution points of this thing, he was even more frightened. 100 million contribution points are equivalent to 3 years of my salary. The team leader must reimburse this. Later, Stefan told Kelvin that the Frozen Ice Lotus is in the headquarters warehouse. You need to stay here for a few more days. If you feel bored, I will arrange for someone to go with you to the mountains to hunt monsters. This seems to be to ensure Kelvin's safety. In fact, it is Stefan. He wants to build a relationship with Kelvin. When Kelvin becomes a top-tier powerhouse, the Snow Dragon Legion can also benefit from this friendship. However, his wishful thinking is about to fall apart soon. Kelvin scratched his head apologetically and said, "I'm going back to school tomorrow to participate in the freshman tournament. You can send the Frozen Ice Lotus to my dorm." And after Stefan left, Kelvin finally let out the anger that had been pent up in his heart. Young sister is saved.